report.
In addition to a busy Election Day Tuesday, we have alert day conditions to track for Election Day Tuesday afternoon.
Also, political candidates make one final push before Election Day, how they're spending Election Eve.
And later we take a look at some of the other races that'll appear on the ballot and the impact they could have on Wisconsin. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. And thanks for joining us. We are just about 13 hours away now from the polls opening for the 2024 election. And if you have to wait in line tomorrow morning, well, you may want to have some rain gear.
Yep, that's true. The rain that we're getting right now is expected to continue through tomorrow with the possibility of some stronger storms, which is unfortunate and unusual in November. For more on these conditions, let's check the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on the patio. Mild night tonight, Alex.
Yeah, very mild. This warm, almost humid air for this time of year. That's that fuel for those thunderstorms. And you were right on the money there, Susan. A bit unusual for us to be tracking alert day conditions for the beginning of November for severe weather. And of all days, of course, with a lot of folks being out for voting. This is why we want to emphasize the potential for a couple of thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for Madison and areas north and east, as it looks like right now, where we could see a couple of those storms producing some strong winds, and we can't rule out the potential for a weak tornado or two, provided we get enough heating during the day out ahead of this cold front that we'll be watching throughout the night tonight and most certainly throughout the daytime tomorrow. Radar 3000, there's nothing out here right now, just a couple lone showers to the southeast, but those showers will pick up in intensity again tonight. If you're looking just to the south and west of Dubuque, some of those heavier showers are starting to work their way back towards southern Wisconsin. A good soaking rain, maybe a clap or two of thunder will enter southern Wisconsin as we head towards the midnight hour, especially for, let's say, U.S. Highway 151 and points to the south and east this time around. Last night, areas Madison points to the northwest got the heavy rain. Tonight, it's going to be focusing Madison and points to the south and to the east. Coming up, though, on Maine weather, we'll show you just how much water we can expect out of this next wave of showers and thunderstorms, and we'll track that cold front with the potential for those strong thunderstorms together in a few minutes.
All right, Alex, thank you. And stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. Now to our 3 for the People coverage. Here we go. One day until Election Day, and the candidates are making their final push to get voters out.
That's right, and that includes Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. For more on these last-minute rallies, we go to News 3 Now's Maddie Heimsch, who is live in West Allis. Maddie?
Hey, you guys, Tammy Baldwin is taking the stage behind me literally as we speak. She just walked up to the mic, and I don't know if you can hear the Tammy chants behind me, but we are waiting on Walz to speak. The campaign told us he would speak around 6:30, so we'll see what happens there. But Tammy Baldwin, like I said, taking the stage now. And while we wait for Walz, I want to talk about him being right here in Milwaukee County tonight. Milwaukee and Madison are, of course, the main sources of Wisconsin's blue votes, but Milwaukee turns out at a lower rate. That's according to Marquette Law School polls. Milwaukee historically turns out at a lower rate than Wisconsin as a whole. And being such an anchor for those blue Wisconsin votes, the Democrats are going to need a big Milwaukee turnout. That'll be critical for them tomorrow. So Walz is coming here from visits earlier today in La Crosse and Stevens Point. He and J.D. Vance were both in La Crosse this morning. Here's a little bit about what they each had to say.
You know, the issue that we haven't really talked that much about, we haven't talked that much about immigration. And that is where Donald Trump's policies worked the best, and frankly, where Kamala Harris's policies have worked the worst.
We're seeing it across the country. Maternal mortality rates in states like Texas have shot through the roof. A story comes out every single day because of Donald Trump's abortion ban.
So both vice presidential candidates, they're pulling out attacks on the presidential opponent. Vance calling out Harris for her border policy and Walz on Trump for his stances on abortion. Both parties just hitting those issues that they are really the strongest in. So Vance with immigration and Walz with abortion as they try to get those very last voters out to the polls. But we're still waiting to hear from Walz, his final message here in Milwaukee tonight. So I'll send it back to you guys for now. Reporting live in West Allis, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
All right, Maddie, thank you. The top of the ticket will certainly be the main race to watch.
But further down the ballot, we could see some big changes to the Wisconsin state legislature. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on what we could expect tomorrow night. Will?
Well, Susan, Eric, I want to show you this current map of the state legislative districts. This is the state Senate, for example. Now, these maps are a product of a decades-long fight by Democrats to have new maps that don't favor Republicans. Now, here's what that map looks like, though, inside the chamber. And you can see it's 2/3 controlled by Republicans. Now, why that matters, that's a supermajority that can override the governor's veto. Now, if Democrats chip away even a couple of seats here, they would eliminate that supermajority. Now, I spoke to people working behind the scenes to set this balance of power.
Another state that we are very excited about is Wisconsin.
The Badger State has been a major national target for Democrats this fall because of new maps this year.
We're 15 seats away from flipping the assembly, and only half of the Senate is on the ballot this year. But our decades-long work has positioned us to take advantage of these opportunities.
The state Senate is guaranteed to end up in Republican hands after this election.
Democrats just don't have enough competitive seats up this year, according to Joe Handrick. He's a former Republican lawmaker and expert on Wisconsin voting data.
There is one highly competitive race that includes that's in the Madison media market, and that is the 14th Senate District.
That includes the north side of Madison, Columbia, Sauk, and Richland counties. The incumbent in that race was drawn into a new district.
Of course, bringing that district into Madison draws the numbers way down for Republicans, and it's a seat that Kamala Harris is going to win. So Senator Ballweg has to swim upstream.
It's one of 4 seats that Democrats are targeting this cycle, including seats in Green Bay, the Fox River Valley, and suburban Milwaukee. Hendricks says these seats may see split tickets, voting for a Democratic president, but a Republican state lawmaker.
But they will vote one way for president or U.S. Senate. But then when it gets to the more local level, they're going to vote for that legislator, Republican or Democrat, who's been there doing a good job for their communities over the years.
Now, that competitive seat near Madison, that's going to be right here. You can track the results from that seat tomorrow online at channel3000.com. You can go to the elections result page. Under the state Senate races, click on the 14th district.
All right, certainly seen a lot of ads in that race. Will, thank you as always. Now, many of those ballots, of course, have already been cast before Election Day.
In total, about 950,000 Wisconsinites cast a ballot during the in-person absentee voting period this election cycle. That is a new record. Our Braden Ross talked to some of those voters in Waukesha County this afternoon. And Braden, how are they feeling on Election Eve?
Well, let's just put it this way, Susan and Eric, the Wisconsin voters I talked to, and many I'm sure that we both know, are just ready for this thing to be over. Now, just like those numbers may suggest, many of the people I talked to voted early this year, saying they just wanted to get it done and not have to worry about anything going wrong tomorrow. One of those people, William Barwick, told me he's not tied to one party or another, but this year the choice was easy to make.
I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. It's just that the stuff that Trump's done, I've known it way before this, and I wasn't brought up that way. So to me, he's like a big bully in school. And I was always the protector in school to protect the young kids that couldn't get beat up all the time. I used to step in. Well, I'm just trying to step in again.
Now, full transparency here, we were on the hunt for undecided voters when we were out in Waukesha County today, but as you might imagine, there aren't many of those left at this point in the campaign. But again, these rallies tonight are really not about them. They're not about the undecided voters. They're about getting out the vote for the people that may stay home or maybe, don't have a plan to vote, or to get these people that are here at this rally to go out and bring their friends to the polls. So we'll see if they're able to do that. It'll all come down to tomorrow. But for now, reporting live in West Dallas, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
All right, Braden, thank you. Tomorrow, News 3 Now, we'll have all of your election coverage needs. We'll get it started at 6:30 on WISC-TV with CBS, the evening news, and then at 7, our all-local coverage of the election will start on Television Wisconsin. That's channel 3.2. We'll stream it on channel 3000 Plus, and we'll be on throughout the night covering the national and local races with analysis from local political experts. Our election team will also be out live at several watch parties around the state with reaction to the results as they come in. An historic night you won't want to miss. And coming up, an update on that crash last week that left several people dead in Verona.
When we come back, still ahead, what investigators are revealing and why the model of the vehicle may have played a part in this tragedy.
You're watching watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, watch out.
The insurance company is going to ask you to sign some papers. Don't do it.
Don't trust the insurance company after your accident. You can miss out on what you really deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
The problem with Todd Novak? He voted with his extreme party leaders 100% of the time, like voting against lower prescription prices. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for rape and incest. Todd Novak is with the extremists 100%, and he's hurting Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights, get more police funding, and bring down costs. Elizabeth Grabe for Assembly.
4 years ago, we took a wrong turn and lost our purpose. We lost the strength that makes Americans who we are. If we dared to speak the truth, it was called hate speech, and our values were labeled shameful. That's when everything we care about fell apart. We surrendered our borders, our paychecks, and our courage. Our patriotism was called toxic. Men could beat up women and win medals, but there was no prize for the guy who got up every day to do his job. Now we're being asked to settle for the way things are. And we're wondering if America can make a comeback. We can, because we've done it before. When we get knocked down, we don't stay down, we get up again. We fight, we fight, we fight.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
California banker Eric Hovde has a plan that helps him and hurts you.
Here's the math. Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax cuts for rich people like him.
And we pay for Hovde's tax breaks with a 28% cut to Social Security and a 25% cut to Medicare.
Hovde even said he would raise the retirement age.
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Eric Hovde still helping himself and hurting you.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Brian Stiles says he's proud of his extreme record. Extremists want to gut Social Security and Medicare, cut benefits for seniors, and raise the retirement age. Stiles proud to join them. And they push to ban abortion in Wisconsin, restrict birth control, and monitor pregnancies to prosecute women. Brian Stiles proud to be backed by them. Peter Barca is proud to put Wisconsin over party.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Election 2024 reaches the finish line, and News 3 Now is your local source on election night. Our team brings you continuous coverage Tuesday on WISC-TV, Television Wisconsin, channel3000.com, and channel 3000 Plus. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
We have an update on the Verona car crash that left 5 people dead on Friday evening.
Our Meryl Hubbard is here to tell us more about what might have happened here. Meryl.
Yeah, Eric, Susan, we know that the car was a Model S Tesla and that 3 of the victims were from Wisconsin and the other 2 were from Minnesota. The crash happened on Range Trail just north of Sunset Drive in the town of Verona. 5 people were in the red 2016 Model S Tesla when the car crashed into the tree and caught on fire. 1 man was from Belleville, another 2 victims were from Crandon, and the last 2 victims were from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We do have sound from dispatchers who were responding to the incident.
All I know is vehicle versus a tree, and now they're saying that there's large flames. And the caller can hear screaming and people yelling to get out.
Right now, we do not know what might have caused the deaths. Per Tesla's safety manual, it says that if the car has no power, the front doors can open using the manual door release located in the front of the window switches. As for the back seat, instructions say to fold back the edge of the carpet below the rear seats to expose the mechanical release cable. Then pull this cable toward the center of the vehicle. Dane County Sheriff's officials are still investigating what caused the crash and deaths. The names of the victims have not yet been released.
Very tragic story. Meryl, thank you. Still more ahead on News 3 Now at 6.
When we come back with Halloween over, a local radio station is already getting into the Christmas spirit.
Plus, as we said, it could be a rainy election day tomorrow. Alex returns his complete forecast when we come back.
I'm a steel worker. I grew up right here on a little family farm. Trump was here campaigning with Elon Musk. Now, there's a prime example of who he keeps close. Donald Trump cares about his billionaire friends. He's just going to turn around and give them more tax breaks. But Kamala Harris is fighting for the working class. She'll make billionaires pay their fair share. That way, working people get a fair shot. Elon Musk is voting for his money, and I'm voting for mine. And I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Washington is corrupt. Senator Baldwin says she fights against Wall Street, and yet she lives with a Wall Street executive and gets all this money from Wall Street. She says she's standing up to Big Pharma and Big Tech, but look at the money she rakes in from Big Pharma, Big Tech, and their executives. Senator Baldwin doesn't work for you, she works for them. I'm Eric Hovde, I approve this message. I'm not taking their special interest money, I'll only work for you.
We know what Joan Ballwig wants to do. Ban abortion and birth control. That's it. That's her plan. Sarah Kieski is focused on bringing costs down, and she has real plans to lower the cost of healthcare and housing, prescription drugs, and to cut your taxes. So if you want a candidate focused on banning abortion and birth control, that's Joan Ballwig. For everyone else, there's Sarah Kieski. She's running for state senate to finally bring costs down.
I, Kamala J.B. Harris, do solemnly swear.
Kamala swore an oath, but Kamala created crisis after crisis. Our troops murdered, an open border, crime in our streets, skyrocketing costs, assassination attempts, Americans abandoned during disasters, and we're on the brink of World War III. A broken oath and a broken America. Kamala can't be trusted in the Oval Office. Vote for President Trump and save America. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Elizabeth Grabby, and this is home. Whether it was saving our family farm, starting my small business, or standing up to utility rate hikes, I've learned to solve problems by bringing people together. And right now, we have some real problems to solve. Corporations jacking up prices, and extreme politicians banning abortion. I'm Elizabeth Grabby, and together we can bring down costs and protect the right to make our own medical decisions.
I'm asking you to put your vote in for Trump. I want to make America healthy again, and so does President Trump. He's going to be relying on me to help clean up that corruption. President Trump needs to win in a landslide, both in the Electoral College and in the popular vote. He can't do that unless my supporters join him. President Trump has asked me to work on all these issues with him. The only way that that's going to happen if President Trump gets elected.
Maha Alliance is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When did you know Eric Hovde was wrong for Wisconsin?
Well, that's easy. When he said that people like me were going to die soon, so we shouldn't be able to vote.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
When Hovde said overweight people should pay more for health care.
When I heard he wants to raise the retirement age.
When I heard he's completely against abortion.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. He's not for us.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The age-old question, how early is too early for Christmas music? Well, if you turned on your radio to Mix 105.1 over the past few days, you may have said it's too early, but others kept it on.
News 3 Now's Kyle Pozorski visited the radio station today with more on the switch.
It's fall in Wisconsin, feeling like it only just began, but already holiday music is back on the airwaves.
Madison's home for the holidays.
And this is where it all happens, behind the microphone of Mix 105.1, bringing holiday cheer to the Madison area.
It's not too early for Christmas music.
They've been doing it for 5 years now, playing the holiday tunes leading up to Christmas.
Retail stores, hardware stores, they already switched to Christmas before Halloween even happened, so I feel like we're behind schedule.
Jonathan Sutton, operations manager at Odyssey Madison, tells me a combination of audience and advertiser demand is what has led the station group to move the switch up to the day after Halloween.
I think initially the idea was, can we do 24 hours of Christmas, 7 days a week, a couple weeks before Christmas? Yes. How about 3 weeks before Christmas? Yes, and we kept building and building, and we found that advertisers were interested, and people really want it. they're ready to make that switch and get in the holiday mode. So sure, it works for advertising, but also just for good spirit.
Sutton continues with a very tense time leading up to the election. Spreading cheer is a way to bring people together through music.
Madison's home for the holidays is Mix 105.1, and you get an extra gold star if you get your holiday shopping done before Thanksgiving.
In Madison, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
I wish you could see the look on Eric's face right now. Kyle, thank you. The folks at Mix 105.1 will continue playing the holiday favorites through Christmas Day, and they'll switch back to contemporary hits on December 26th.
Well, the weather, as warm as it is, boy, you're not going to be in the Christmas spirit anytime soon with that, but we're looking at a lot of rain on Election Day, Alex, potentially.
Yeah, rain and then the potential for alert day conditions. About a week and a half ago, when I was starting to see this weather system get its act together in our weather models, I thought, we could possibly have an alert day around Election Day Tuesday. And here we are, isolated strong winds and the possibility of a few weak tornadoes as a cold front comes through Tuesday afternoon, primarily from Madison and points north and east. But you're going to want to tune in tomorrow morning, Savannah in the morning, Kelly at noon, because this risk could shift. It's a marginal risk, but even the time of year, November, you're not thinking of tornadoes. And of course, with everybody being out for Election Day Tuesday, that threat is there for a couple of storms to get gusty winds that could reach severe levels. And again, we can't rule out that possibility of a weak tornado or two. And remember, it's November, not the springtime. Future track showing showers and a couple thunderstorms advancing back into southern Wisconsin by the time we get towards 11, 12 o'clock. But this band of showers and storms will likely eye up, let's say, U.S. Highway 151 in points to the south. Still, we'll see some showers and storms north and west of that area, but the better chances will be towards the south, Madison and points south and east. We even have a couple of showers near Edgerton right now, near Stoughton, so you might have the windshield wipers going if you're driving down on 12 and 14. The rest of Dane County, largely dry, but missed this evening. Those showers eventually building back in as we head towards that 10, 11, 12 o'clock hour with temperatures really mild, 60s right now, 60s still at 10 o'clock. Jacob will be here in our normal highs in the lower 50s, and so at 10 o'clock, we're still having temperatures 10 degrees above normal with lows tonight right around 60. Here's how that line of thunderstorms may play out. If we get breaks from the shower and thunderstorm activity in the morning that allows the heating to build up, could be looking at a line of thunderstorms west of Madison, moving into the Madison area, 3, 4 o'clock, stretching from the Dells down to Madison to Janesville, and then it's quickly out of here. So that window of opportunity for the potential for a strong storm or two would be from 12 o'clock approximately to about 5 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. The water amounts, I said, a little bit less towards the north and west out of this next band of showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Heavier rains eyeing up, let's say, Janesville over towards Walworth County with this next area of showers and thunderstorms coming up from the south. Once we get through Alert Day Tuesday, hopefully those conditions do not materialize. We'll go into a fall-like stretch here through Friday, then a fall-like weather system with a cooler rain as we go Saturday into Sunday. Not looking at thunderstorms or severe weather potential with that weather system. Fall-like going out into next week with yet another breezy wet weather system by the middle of next week.
And still ahead in sports, the Badgers and the Packers have the bye-week blues. We'll tell you how they're going to spend the next 2 weeks trying to improve next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm Joan Ballwig, and I'm here to set the record straight. I support birth control, the life and health of mothers, extending postpartum care, and fertility treatments, including IVF. I'm Joan Ballwig. I have always fought for Wisconsin moms, and I always will.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
We count on gasoline to power our cars, our tractors, our way of life. So why is a city slicker from Miami, Elizabeth Groppe, okay banning gas-powered vehicles? Extremists like Groppe want to eliminate fossil fuels, robbing hard-working families, farmers, and small businesses of their vehicles. Miami Liz's radical ideas hurt our families and our main streets. Don't let Groppe get away with it. Born and raised right here. Todd Novak is our independent voice for common sense, protecting our way of life.
We know what Joan Balwig wants to do. Ban abortion and birth control. That's it. That's her plan. Sarah Kieski is focused on bringing costs down, and she has real plans to lower the cost of healthcare and housing, prescription drugs, and to cut your taxes. So if you want a candidate focused on banning abortion and birth control, that's Joan Balwig. For everyone else, there's Sarah Kieski. She's running for state senate to finally bring costs down.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah.
And the punishment is real. Women denied care, unable to get pregnant again, traumatized, scarred for life. Young women who didn't need to die. Now 1 in 3 women live under a Trump abortion ban. And if he's elected, everyone will.
There has to be some form of punishment.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
Heading into the bye week, Matt LaFleur says the Packers have a lot of projects that they'll be spending their time working on. But just like Wisconsin football, losing in brutal fashion heading into your bye week, it just kind of stinks, which also is the only way to describe yesterday's 24-14 really brutal loss to the Lions.
The only thing that is hard is to go on a bye after a loss, because this loss will sit with you for a long time. So we got a lot to think about, I would say, over the next 13 days before we play again. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of things that we all have to collectively work on.
227 days. That's how long it's been since Wisconsin men's basketball last played in a real game. But tonight, that changes. The Badgers open their season at the Kohl Center against Holy Cross in what should serve as somewhat of a nice warm-up to their season and the new-look Big Ten, which is scary up and down. On the NBA, Giannis won't play tonight. That's not going to help the Bucks' chances.
They're 1-5.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Man, it's not looking good. They've lost 5 straight on top of that, and without Giannis against the undefeated Cavaliers, might be another loss.
That was Matt LaFleur's birthday yesterday, too.
How about that?
Oh, that's too bad.
That's tough. Well, we'll be back tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.